Alright, let me get everything up set up. Alright, we got that up here. Alright, so we disqualified No Mercy because I know the soundtrack of it. Do you know the soundtrack of No Mercy?
Yeah, let's go.
Diggity,
Diggity
diggity
dog.
dog. Like, I get.
Diggity dog.
I mean, I would rank it, but like I'm just saying, like but the fact that the most of the list here is comprised of like. I'm gonna also disqualify 13 and 11 and 14 because like there's no. I'm just gonna go based off of just like their licensed tracks. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
Because like nothing wrong with a wrestling game having the entrance tracks. Like they're fine. But I'm just thinking like if you're gonna rank them, you'd be ranking based off of music, I guess, right?
Music that's on the soundtrack.
Yeah. Alright, so let's see. We're starting out first. We got the first SVR.
First SVR soundtrack. If I remember that soundtrack well.
Should we have an A plus category or should we just have A? Because A be fine, right? A be fine. Nothing B.
We should have like a S category.
S category.
Yeah.
We're gonna remove. How do we remove D? Nobody fucking puts D anymore. Alright, move the S. Can I move it up?
Yep.
Okay, I can. I have never done any of this stuff before. Alright, go to S category, A category, B category, C category, F. Okay. So SVR, the first SVR. I mean, what do you think? What do you think about it? It is a really good soundtrack.
It's what started it all.
Mm-hmm. Now,
It introduced people to a lot of good bands at the time.
I do say though it's very much like the Tony Hawk games.
Tony Hawk soundtrack.
It has a lot of songs in common. So I'm guessing someone who was making the game or whoever was in design of the soundtrack was like, you know, Tony Hawk, that's a pretty good soundtrack. We'll take a couple tracks from there because the Power Man 500 track, 5000 track is from that game. Yeah, Bring the Noise. You have
Yep.
is there,
Firefly, maybe.
no, Firefly was not on there. I think it was it, but they did have a bunch, and Styles Beyond was on Tony Hawk, but it wasn't the song for the game.
Superstars.
It wasn't Superstars. It was Subculture. That was in Tony Hawk.
What do you think about it overall? What would you rank it? Overall.
It is a very strong start to the series, but it's kind of in my. It's not my least favorite, but it's definitely in my. It's like in that.
In the category?
I don't know. I would probably.
Because me personally, if we're talking about SBR soundtracks, that I basically, honestly, I grew up during the time of when you were born during when this game came out.
Yeah, it was 2004, but I still played this game. I mean, it was like years after, but I still played it, so it wasn't like I don't know, or haven't ever heard of it. And also this soundtrack is the same as the Day of Reckoning soundtrack, which you had a question about. You didn't know if they did have soundtracks. The first Day of Reckoning had the same soundtrack as the first SVR. Same with WrestleMania 21. Besides, it had I think two new songs or two different songs. I think WrestleMania 21 only had two different songs from there.
Nice.
So what do you rank it?
I rank it solid A.
An A.
Or a B. It depends on what day.
I was thinking B as well, just because they get so much better afterwards.
B.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's like to compare to everyone else, it's definitely a B. I might also put 06 at B, but that's just because, I mean, it's also really good, but at the same time, it's just like compared to what comes after, not as iconic in my opinion. Like no one really, I mean, they come back and they talk about these, but they don't talk about them as often as 07, 08, like the later half of the game series. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And 06, I had Bumpy Knuckles on there. You had the Megadeth remix. Uh,
Company of the Destruction.
that was what I was talking about. You had Dillinger Escape Plan. What was the song? That was also on there. So it was like I said, overall, a decent, amazing soundtrack. But I'm just gonna put it in B just because of the fact that it's in like that kind of. These two games are kind of in that category, just like they're good, they're amazing, but it's like compared to what comes afterwards, it's in a very eh. You know, 7 obviously needs to go S. You'd be absolutely
Yep.
stupid to say 7 is not one of the best. It is amazing.
There's a hearty party in Cincinnati tonight.
I'm gonna check Facebook the whole time.
And I would say if we're gonna talk about '07 soundtrack, that is one of the best.
It is like you can every song is like talk about. You know, you can. I mean, hell, amazing soundtrack.
Mine.
What? What song? What are you talking? You're saying the enemy, like the Godsmack song on the soundtrack? I think Godsmack being one of. Oh, it's SVR soundtrack is awesome.
And also Ghostface.
Killer, yeah, Champ. Obviously, 3 Days of Grace, probably the most iconic song off of it. I mean, Riot's kind of underrated, I think. A lot of people, everybody talks about, I Become Riot's also pretty good too.
Yep.
And also Survive by Rise Against an amazing band.
And also you have. Let me think about the song real quick.
Yeah. Long was it? Stone Temp, whatever. Stone Cherry.
Blackstone Cherry.
Blackstone Cherries.
A Lone Train.
You had
driving down the.
Forgot the band name, but like Not Your Savior, pretty good song.
I'm not your savior.
Like just, I think '07 was the first WWE game I actually remember playing growing up. Cause I remember you and your sister over your guys' house playing it.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was 10, but I think '07 like was the first one we went back. I remember going back and playing. Was '07 or into '06 because you guys would play GM mode a lot too. What the fuck are you doing? Okay, but yeah.
'08 soundtrack was for me. It was like a little bit of a step down.
Yeah, I would say, would you consider in B or A category?
A.
I'd say it's a lot more iconic than the first two SVRs. Not any dug on them. Like I said, good soundtracks.
Yeah, Puddle of Mud.
But it does have better. It does have bands that are better. And honestly, like I said, it's definitely a more iconic soundtrack than the first two SmackDown vs. Raws. Don't feel bad putting them. When we get to 2Ks, I might change these. It just depends on how bad 2K is. Or how mediocre. Because maybe they aren't bad, but say like they're mediocre. You know what I mean? '09 soundtrack. Now this soundtrack, in my opinion, is probably the most underrated. Do you think? What do you think? Underrated, or do you think?
No.
Or do you think it's highly rated?
Highly rated.
You think it's overrated?
Highly rated. It's like not overrated. It's highly rated.
Do you think it's given the? You think that's rating like it should be given? That people remember it fondly? Because '09 itself is kind of a shit game.
Mm-hmm.
But the soundtrack, fucking awesome. Like you got fucking Disturbed. You got fucking the X's. Dude, the X's. You know the fucking X's?
Mm-hmm.
Guitar Hero fucking won the X's. If anyone fucking knows the band. They're a really good band, actually. Yeah, but like I said, you got fucking Egypt Central. Fucking MERS. SWC, Sarah Karen.
Yep.
Good song. Still a real banger, I think. So
most of those songs were good bangers, to be honest with you.
So where would you rank it? Cause I don't think. I mean, do you think it's on here with '08 or '07? Because I do love the soundtrack. but I do not think it's 07. But I do think it is better 08.
I do too.
So with that, we just put it in A category, or should we put it in
A.
Okay, A category, what are you thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now we got 10. SVR 10. This one's nostalgic for me, you know what I mean? Like, this is... I mean, all of them are nostalgic, but this one's probably the most because this is what I grew up playing, you know? I remember fucking this summer that my dad played this on his PS3. We played this all the time. Make our wrestlers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I remember more of that than the actual soundtrack, but the soundtrack itself I remember because of just playing the game so much back then. I even had it on my PS2, so that was fun. My only gripe, it doesn't have that many songs compared to the other ones. So you end up going into the category where it's kind of hitting the non-eligible spot, but it does have some good bangers. I think like it's got Leonard Skinner, you got Trivium, you got Sick Puppies,
Skillet.
Skillet.
Yep.
What was the other band? It was Sick Puppies, right?
Yeah.
That was the going down.
Mm-hmm.
You got was that it? Was that literally the whole soundtrack? I had two Skillet songs. That was about it. I think it's a good soundtrack. I don't know. I mean, but do I think it's in? Do you think it's in an A tier or B tier category? Because like, I know it ain't S because it's just so limited in my opinion. Like, there's less songs. Like, I feel like you hear less of the actual in-game soundtrack than you do. Um, I'll do A. I'll do A. I think A is fine.
Yep.
Cause I mean, I feel like maybe I'm being too harsh on it. Cause like if I actually hear like it comes back to me, I just have just so much nostalgia. 2K15. This was the first 2K soundtrack, and the first and this one was created by John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Remember this one? I don't know how I feel about this one because it's one of those ones where you look back and you're nostalgic about it, but is it really? Is it actually a good soundtrack? Hmm.
Mm.
I feel like it's kind of in that. I might be feeling a C on this. What do you think?
Let's see. Yeah.
Because like it has good songs, but like it's just kind of mid at the same time. Like it's good, but also kind of mid. You know what I mean? Like I think the one thing that kills it for me was the fucking what was it called? Free, like Rudimental and Nas.
Mm-hmm.
That one where it's like kind of gospel-y. Like that just kind of kills the vibe for me. Like that song comes on, you're just like, really? Like you just kind of feel like you're getting thrown all around her because you have fucking Avenged Sevenfold, Rise Against, Wiz Khalifa. What are you doing? Looks like a fat. But you have like all these. I mean, it's one that's like very too well. I mean, not really well rounded, but like it's well rounded, but it's like there's too much going on. Too much going on, and you just don't really have a clue what the vibe is. That's kind of what the problem is. Like they just don't have a vibe with the 2K soundtracks, which is probably why they're gonna be probably lower tier in my opinion. 16. We just played this game. It's probably one of the best 2K soundtracks. But I do not believe it would be an S, to be honest. Or do you think it would be an S? What, in your personal opinion?
16. B.
Yeah, I think B too. Because I love the soundtrack, don't get me wrong. But I do hate Revolution and I hate the fucking Machine Gun Kelly song. Because Revolution's annoying, and the Machine Gun Kelly song is another one where it's like rudimental, where it's just like, it's not supposed to fit. It doesn't fit. It's another one of those songs that just like, it's supposed to be like kind of uplifting, kind of like speaking about the world. But it's like, I'm not trying to hear all that when I'm trying to like make my wrestler and shit, so I'm definitely going. It's better than 15, but it is not better than the SVR. And I mean, it. I guess it'll work. Yeah, it's fine. 17. This one is one I feel like I feel like aged well in my opinion. I feel like it both aged bad and well. Bad because of the producer, well because of the songs. The songs themselves, absolute bangers in my opinion. But I'm now kind of questioning that actually. Hold up. Let me think. Not every one of them is banger. There's a couple annoying ass songs. Do you have anything other to do to just like your fucking biceps? Okay, but what are you thinking? What do you think about 17?
Let's see.
You think it's C?
For me, it is because I started to fall off after 17.
Yeah. It's one that I look back on and I look at back on it kind of fondly, but I also don't. I mean, I said there's a couple songs I do like, but like the problem with the 2K soundtrack, there's ones that I like and they're amazing, good
What did you
soundtrack,
make for dinner?
cook hamburgers. But yeah, like the 17, it's
So
this one,
hungry again.
this soundtrack to me. Like you said, yeah, there's a couple songs I actually really like.
18 soundtrack was pretty fucking dumb.
This was created by The Rock. Like I said, it was a very. I don't want to say. I'm putting this in F. Put this in. This is the first F, and here's my explanation. I know, like I said, look at the soundtrack itself. You're like, oh, these are some amazing songs. You put them together, and the only newer shit on there is like Tech Nine. No, I ain't fucking no. Like I liked it whenever it came out at first, but like looking back, it's like it's such a shit decision to have The Rock make a soundtrack based off of his workout playlist because everything's fucking old besides Tech Nine, and he's kind of also. I mean, even the songs he picked were kind of like a couple years older at the time, I think.
Yep.
So it wasn't like everything was 2017. Like it was not a good reflection
Honestly,
of the year.
2K19 would be a C for me because personally, that song that played every time you logged into the fucking game,
You're really gonna put in C?
I'll put it in B, but
I am advocating it for at least A.
I'll do a B because I don't like fucking passing.
Okay, I get it. It's kind of a meme. And it is very much annoying to hear. Blow my mind. Blow my
It's like saying
That is annoying because I did
basically
play
that's
it.
the second song that is annoying besides Bree mode. It's on the level of Bree mode right there.
The song itself is fine. I actually like that song.
I like the beat.
I like the song itself. I do not like that it played every time you open up the game. That is the worst problem about it with 2K. And this was the first game that had that problem. Well, 18 also had that problem because every time you open it up, you hear fucking smoking, smoking, or you hear the fucking like riff. But at least it's like a cool little guitar riff you hear, with rather than blow my mind, blow my mind. That's all right. Fine. B for blow my mind. Cause like look at the soundtrack, rest of the soundtrack itself. Fucking, you had Fall Out Boy, you had fucking Metallica, you had Ric Flair Drip, Rockstar. Like it was a very good collection of songs in my opinion, but
Yeah.
definitely it got ruined by the constant of it playing Passion as the intro song. 2K20.
Basic Act soundtrack.
This was probably the first one. Yeah, this was the first time for like 3 years they did not announce who created the soundtrack, and I want to know who. I want to kick your ass.
Probably with some Mojo.
It was not. I fucking doubt it was Samoa Joe. Ain't no fucking. You know what's on this soundtrack? You even know the soundtrack? Cause you never played 2K20, or you didn't play much 2K20. Okay, let me look it up real quick. 2K20 soundtrack. Let me look this up for you. Let me show you what we got here. Okay.
If it's some type of bullshit, I don't want to listen.
Let's see. We got the Dirt
I like the Dirt.
by Motley Crue and Machine Gun Kelly. Hybrid Moments by the Misfits.
I like that.
Sweetie, Icy Girl.
I like the Muse.
Dark Side by Muse, Burning Man featuring Post Malone by Andrew Watt, Low High by the Black Keys, Cyanide by Barnes Courtney, Themata by Grandson, EXO Tour Life by Little Uzi Vert, Wonderful Life by Bring Me the Horizon, Metal by Poppy, and Gimme by Banks. Like I said, I guess by itself, or by like with the songs, it's fine. It's a fine soundtrack, I guess. But altogether, it's just kind of mid, kind of shit. I ain't liking it, and not as kind of terrible. Actually, I fucking hate Muse. Am I in the minority like that I hate Muse? You know what I mean?
No, I hate him too.
I'm up here for no fucking food. Alright. Like I said, but yeah, it was not a good soundtrack to have on top of a really shit game. So I say F. F you go. 2K22. Created by Machine Gun Kelly. What are you thinking?
Okay, Machine Gun Kelly, he didn't pick that bad songs.
Was there any that I think the only song I actually didn't like off the soundtrack was the NXT theme or whatever. Let me look at the soundtrack real quick. 2K. Nice if I can fucking type. Soundtrack. Let me look at this real quick. I just want to look. Alright. Concert for Aliens, Body Bag, Protect Your Neck, Booker T, Iron Fist. Say Cheese was the only one I didn't like. Everything else, I fuck with. I'm not saying I hate Poppy, I'm just saying I did not fuck with this song. Everything else, it was a pretty amazing. I thought, I'm not trying to please. I said it's a pretty good soundtrack to come back to. So, what are you thinking?
I'd say it's solid B.
A solid B. Do you think it's? Yeah, I would say A, but at the same time, we already have 2K19, and I don't think it's better than 19. I don't think it's better than 19, but I do think it's
solid B.
a solid B. Yes. 23. This one, remember 23 soundtrack actually. I think do you remember it, Justin? I mean, it's not that I forgot. I just legit don't remember.
Sad but true. Okay, sad but
Sabbath,
true.
Metallica,
SUVs.
Corvetto,
We pull up in SUVs.
Vegas, My Doja Cat.
We pull up in SUVs.
Can't Stop by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
We pull up in SUVs.
Holy fuck! Shut up! I hate that song.
We pull up in SUVs.
Alright, you're about to make me put this in F after just saying this would be a C. I'm putting it in C. I'm putting it in C. No more. Like I said, it has good songs, but it definitely is kind of a weird, not kind of mid soundtrack, which is sad because it has Sad But True with Metallica. It has Metallica, yet it's pretty mid.
I say B.
Why? Just because Metallica?
Yeah.
That's literally you can't just that's what's carrying it to a C, not an F. The Metallica and fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's the only reason
And also Bullet for My Valentine.
Bullet for My Valentine, yeah. That's also a good song.
And a little bit of Post Malone too.
This is being carried by 4 songs.
And also it's being carried by
Is the 4th.
Hardy. I'll take the Hardy song any day of the week.
For me, it's 4 songs or even 5 songs. Still, our songs.
Hardy is a good singer though.
Yeah, he's alright. Yeah.
He actually does that one song with Lainey. I believe her name is. I believe he does that one song called I used to listen to with Tommy all the time on Our Toes.
I don't play it, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Waiting. It's called "Wait in the Truck" with Lainey Wilson. And that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah. Like I said though, it is a very I don't know. Like I said, it's a for me it's getting carried by 4 songs. For you, it's getting carried by 5.
You know that song's based on domestic violence.
Assume. Alright, 2K24. This one was created by Post Malone. Let me look at this one. I know it, but I also don't. That's why I'm bringing it up because they're bringing up the other ones. Alright, go to Apple Music for this one. Let's see. We got House Fire by Tyler Childers. Mystery by Turnstile. Not That Nice by Speed. Big Rig. Laugh It Off. Do It Faster. Better. Off. Put Your Hands Right. Chemical. Genesis. Getting Chris by like it.
This is a C.
You think it's a C?
Or an F because the soundtrack sucks.
Unfortunately, yeah, I do say it's probably an F.
Probably
I think 2K23 is better.
or a non-eligible because it has a sucky ass soundtrack. Oh,
No, they're not eligible because it doesn't even have a soundtrack that like of to even fucking together than like.
I would prefer all the SVR 11,
Alright,
SVR.
fine, fuck it. Diversity.
The versus should be on S because the diggity
Diggity dog.
dog.
Fine. Well, how about? Okay, fine. We'll disqualify 13, 11, and 14, but 12 had. Hell, I would rather listen to fucking 12s all day before hearing 24s. Okay? That's all I gotta say.
Well, I would have sure told her.
I'd rather hear the same fucking song over and over than fucking hear fucking 24s. Because like I said, it was just ambience music. At the end of the day, that's what it was. They had just some ambience in 12. But I'd rather hear that than hear fucking than hear 2K24's fucking shitty ass. Like I swear, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. But I'm just saying, like it's not that good. I don't
Dude,
think.
they talk can take a bath and not have no fucking heat on in the bathroom. Dude, that is the fucking worst time to take a bath. Is when the heat's on and it burns. It's like a fucking sauna in there, dude.
That's what your last comment on there about.
And to be honest with you, with all these soundtracks that I grew up on personally.
I mean, did we feel like we gave them proper?
Yeah.
Do you think
SVRs are the best soundtracks? I tell you right now.
I feel, yeah. I don't know. Like I said, maybe people are gonna be like, "Well, you're not being nice to the SVR. You're not being nice to 2K." But like, in my personal opinion, I'm moving up to just if we have a 2K on A, because like once you get past "Blow My Mind," hearing constantly, amazing is a good soundtrack. I like it a lot, actually. So no skips. Not a single skip on that one. Because they blow my mind. But that's just because it plays all the fucking time. So I am happy with 2K19 being an A. I know it blow my mind. It is annoying. Constantly hearing Passion's intro is fucking annoying. But the song itself is actually really good. The song itself, every song on the soundtrack is really good. I wish they would do that again, where they would let the wrestlers choose a song for the soundtrack. I actually really like the idea, and it made the soundtrack really good. 16's a close A, but like I said, it's where it has that kind of mid Machine Gun Kelly song in Revolution, and then this is just kind of all sorts of. It just feels like John Cena looked at what's popular and then just picked the songs because it wasn't even that good. And that's our tier list.